Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right. Well, welcome. Come on in. As usual, the seats in the middle and in the front are open. So if you need one of those, otherwise be where you are comfortable. That's all good with us. Well, welcome, welcome to the celebration of the 10th anniversary of Fort Lyon. My name is Britta Fisher. I'm the president and CEO of the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless. Thank you. We're so delighted to be here today to celebrate a place that's so special. Been wonderful to talk to many of you over lunch and hear about the healing places that you've discovered on this campus, the healing community you've found, and this part of your journey here. And several graduates, it's just been lovely. So thank you for sharing your stories. And many of you have been here since the beginning. Yes, in 2013. Remember that. When we launched this innovative program that provides recovery-oriented housing with peer support and educational, vocational, and employment services to people experiencing homelessness or at risk of homelessness. This community is built on the foundation of resident-centered, resident-driven care. It is safe, calm, and secure environment that reflects an understanding of trauma prevalence and its impact on people's lives. Healing, hopeful, honest, and collaborative relationships with staff, with other participants, and with members of this local community foster trust and recovery. Resident choice is fundamental to ensuring that all those enrolled in the program are treated with dignity and respect. We know that the stigma against people experiencing homelessness and people with substance use disorders can be significant. A decade ago, there was initial opposition to the Fort Lyon supportive residential community. And there still are those today who do not have compassion for the difficulties faced by those with the medical condition of a substance use disorder or the experience of homelessness. But the success of this program speaks for itself. But I will still speak a few words about it. So over the past 10 years, there have been many unique individuals who have been served at Fort Lyon, who have come here from throughout the state. 2,218 unique individuals. And I'm really proud to stand here today and say that the #1 reason for people leaving Fort Lyon is they've achieved their goals in recovery and have completed the program. That's a wonderful testament to this community. In keeping with the origins of this property, veterans who are referred to the program are prioritized, and 13% of all residents over the past 10 years have been veterans. It's always so moving to hear from people on their journey and how Fort Lyon has intersected with it. And I really appreciate, again, those who have shared your stories, and for those who have shared on the other occasions that I have been here at Fort Lyon. Special shout out, I don't know if I see her brightly colored hair right now, but Sharonda, thank you. Sharonda's awesome. Sharonda was my tour guide the last time that we were here, and Lisa and I had the chance to visit her room and really understand some of the healing place that this has been. So if you all see Sharonda later, I gave her a shout out, let her know. We have this wonderful place today, and it has a long history, and Lisa Trujillo will be speaking to that in just a bit. But it has been a military post as long ago as 1860, and Veterans Hospital, a neuropsychiatric facility, and a state correctional facility before becoming this recovery campus. This current program is made possible through a statewide collaboration between the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless and the Colorado Department of Local Affairs, who you will hear from as well. This initial creation of the supportive residential community through the former governor and current Senator Hickenlooper's office allowed us to build this dream and make this community possible. And the continued support from DOLA allows our community to thrive. Of course, we could not do this without partnerships, both with the Colorado Department of Local Affairs and Benton County. And while Benton County is no longer part of the contract, we do still regularly meet with them and talk about Fort Lyon's role in the community. This was the first year that the program received an increase in funding from the state since we opened in 2013. Yay! Thank you, thank you. That is in large part because of our ongoing relationship with DOLA and the growth of the program. We really want to thank our partners at DOLA, many of which have been with us since the very beginning and opening day. So thank you, DOLA. I would like to now introduce Dion Stroder, who is the Deputy Executive Director of the Department of Local Affairs. Dion.
Thank you, Britta, and welcome everybody to this 10-year celebration. I've been at DOLA for a little under 3 years, and one of the first things that was introduced to me when I joined DOLA was the Fort Lyon project. And I will say that as a partnership, it's unique in the state of Colorado, and it's something that DOLA treasures and believes in. This model works, and we're really proud of what we've built over the last 10 years to serve more than 2,200 people, to serve the community, and to prove a model that we know is effective, cost-effective for our taxpayers, and actually helps us move the needle towards ending homelessness. This is a model that we believe in so much that we are anticipating expanding this model to other similar types of facilities across the state, because we know what it does for the residents who are here, we know how it supports the community, and we know that our partners like the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless, our other local governments and other providers are able to stand with us and help us expand this type of model. I agree with you completely. We need more. We need more of the Fort Lyon way of doing things. We've gone through a couple of administrations in the last 10 years, and every year we're able to provide data that shows that Fort Lyon is working. The budget conversations can be tough, but we are proud that we were able to increase the budget last year, and we're continually advocating for thinking about how we can best use our dollars to actually impact Coloradans who are experiencing homelessness. We know that Fort Lyon and the model of Fort Lyon is one way that we can do that, and so we're always a strong advocate for helping where we can and supporting the residents here. I want to introduce our director of our Division of Housing, Allison George, to share a couple of her thoughts on the Fort Lyon journey over the last 10 years and really kind of what we see as the value of the partnership here at Fort Lyon. So.
Thank you, Dion. I have to say I wasn't prepared, but I have a lot to say. And that's because I so believe, and I'm sorry, I'm so proud of everybody. I really am. It's tremendous what you all have done together. It's the support that you all provide one another, whether you work here, whether you live here, whether you're with the state, whether you're with CCH, whether you're with the county. It's tremendous because we all need those supports in our lives. I don't actually usually cry when I speak, so I kind of want to turn the conversation a little bit to how this all started, because I was here 10 years ago plus as the idea happened, how the wind in the sails moved the ship, the boat, forward to actually become the Fort Lyon that we know today. And so at the local level, Bill Long, it would not have happened but for Bill Long. And I am so serious when I say that, because it took a strong local partner to understand what the possibility of Fort Lyon was. Governor Hickenlooper at the time provided that wind, provided that opportunity to move this forward, the funding to move this forward into reality. The partner, knowing CCH, could be there and make this work. It took everyone. And so we have to have these champions in order for these things to move forward. And it's because of the success of Fort Lyon that there are new properties, there are new efforts, there will be new support that will serve even more people. And that's really what our goal is having the greatest impact that we can for the people that need it most. Because we're not necessarily the ones providing the support. You all are the ones providing the support, and you will continue providing the support, whether it's here or it's at the next location. And so I really look forward to seeing what you all can do to brighten a few more lives. So thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Dion. It takes a lot of people to do this work. And as we start to transition into the staff and resident voices, I just want to stop and thank all the staff from the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless who worked so hard to make this campus look so lovely. Thanks to the facilities team, thanks to all of the folks who have been working on this community and at this place, and all the people who work behind the scenes on the real estate, the accounting, the contracts, the things that are beyond what we see here. Would all of the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless staff please raise your hand and be recognized? Thank you to everyone and everyone who has been pitching in to get things set up, and we'll hear more from our residents as well here, but we're going to be giving the floor over to some folks who really saw this from the beginning and gave it some life and have had persistence. I love coming to Bent County. I grew up on a farm. And so I'm a farm kid, and I love being on the plains, and I love the room to roam and for the eyes on the horizon. But most of all, I love the people, because in a rural community, it takes everyone doing every job possible to make things work. There's just not enough people. You have to wear a lot of hats. And I think of that a lot when I think of Bill Long, former county commissioner. I mean, he's the person who would also pick up people from the airport and just give that drive and passion and vision to everyone he met. So thank you, Bill. And also to Lisa Trujillo, who is going to be our next speaker. Lisa had the role in Bent County in economic development, passionate about jobs for the people of Bent County, and her persistence has her still here today as the director of this program. So please welcome Lisa Trujillo.
Yeah. Wow. Where do you start? 10 years. It's amazing. I know there was a lot about, the history already talked about, but real quick, I was 5 when I moved to Las Animas, and I left when I was in 7th grade. So during that time, I was very impressionable, and Las Animas and Bent County always had this place in my heart that I just loved. And I lived in Southern California, worked, raised my kids for 25 years, and then I came back to the area to be near my family and so forth, and I had the greatest opportunity to work for the economic development of Bent County, and I got to work with this amazing board that included Bill, included Mark, a lot of people really worked on, we have this facility that Department of Corrections has left, and we need to repurpose it. I don't know, Bill, how many times I went with him to Denver. I just followed him around as he talked to the legislators, but I got to see it, and I saw his passion on helping bring CCH here or an entity. I mean, we had a lot of tours that were not CCH. They were other users. but it was a fit when it was CCH. So it was, sorry, I'm the crazy dog woman here. So it was really great. We had a fabulous partnership with DOLA. They were supportive. We had the commissioners. We had, Valley-wide, which now is, no, it's Southeast, which is now Valley-wide. We just had a lot of great partners. But I'll tell you, it was such a ride. Because I remember I'd be the only one out here sometimes, finding office supplies that was left behind, setting it up for us. And I remember we wanted to stage some rooms, a day room and so forth for Governor Hickenlooper so he could see what it would look like. So I brought all kinds of stuff from my house out here. I had my truck full of plants and rugs and furniture, and I set it up, and they're like, yeah, this is a great idea. And James Ginsburg and Phil Harrington, I know they were, the root of it. They should take a lot of credit for it. Heck, look, they hired me, No, I'm kidding. I'm just teasing. But it was such an amazing ride, and we got to touch so many wonderful people. And then COVID hit. And that was really hard. And right when COVID hit is when I got the program director position. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this or not. This is hard. But you know what? Because of everyone that works here and the diligence of all the residents, we went all the way through COVID, and I think we had a handful of positive people. We kept this facility safe, and we kept the outside community safe by really taking it serious. It was a lot of hard work, and we're still struggling to build back from it, but I'm really optimistic we're getting there. And it's just amazing when I look at all of the faces, people that are here now and people that have been here, that are, running businesses, and they're directors of organizations now, and they were our residents out here working with us. And the last thing that I really want to talk about is the staff. You know what? It's not me. It's them. You bet. I mean, it's amazing, all of the support that they provide, and their heart is here. That's what makes it work. They believe in this program. You bet. You bet. There's not a single person that doesn't give it their all when they're here, and it's just amazing, and I think they need a standing ovation. Good. So I recently asked all the different managers, could you please get together with your teams and ask them what's most important for them working here? And we had all kinds of responses, but as I read through each of them, there was one thread that ran through it all, and it's because they love giving the support to the residents and watching the lives change, and that's why we're here. So I thank CCH for continuing to support us as employees. Thank you, DOLA, for continuing to support us. Thank you, Kim, as County Commissioner, for your continued support. We really appreciate it. So thank you. So now I get the privilege to start introducing Kat. There you are. If you want to come on up. Kat is a former resident of the Fort Lyon program, and she has a few words she'd like to share with you.
Oh, man. I know so many of y'all, and I love y'all so much. Fort Lyon saved my life. I was a junkie on the streets in Denver. I used to sleep in the doorways in the freezing snow across from Jesus Saves. I missed my move-in date because I was found with a needle hanging out of my arm, overdosed, alcohol poisoning, and I woke up from a coma in the hospital with my precious tramp across my legs. And y'all kept my bed for me. Mind you, they wouldn't let me leave Denver Health. They came and picked me up at the door. And they brought me out here to a new life. I was 56 years old. I had never tried to go to rehab. I didn't know anything about them. You know, I was told it's transitional housing, and I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to get off the streets so we could use a place to live. And I got here way out in BFE thinking, yeah, it's a conspiracy theory. You know, y'all are taking me out there to do experiments on me. You know, the ride was endless. You pull through the gates out there, and the gates are like, yep, it's a prison. And then you turn the corner at 401, and you've got this most beautiful campus. I felt like a teenager, you know. I couldn't believe it. And my whole life changed. And the first thing that changed my life was all the love that was offered when I got here. My amazing case manager, Laura, she was such an inspiration to me. I looked up to her. I wanted to be like her. And, you know, by the grace of God and the opportunity y'all gave me to change my life around, I haven't had to sleep outside again. I haven't had to use any drugs or get drunk, you know. I now have over 6 years clean and sober. When I was here, y'all afforded all of us the opportunity. Whatever we wanted to do, you guys made it happen. You know, if we said we wanted a creativity room, you know, if we wanted to be in the library, I was blessed to be able to work on renovating the library. You know, there's nothing you can't do here. I didn't even know I had any dreams, you know, because I was so, you know, hopeless. But this place gave me hope. It gave me a dream. Today I live in Las Animas. You know, I work with beautiful women, giving them the love that y'all taught me, showing them how to stay clean one day at a time. You know, I wouldn't change my life for anything in the world. Today I have a relationship with my son. And I tell you, you know, when I got here, my daughter had a birthday. I'd been here about a year, and I wanted to go see her so bad. Fort Lyon put me in Motel 6 in Denver for 3 days so I could enjoy a sober and clean birthday with my daughter. And I mean, this place just floors me, you know. Where in the world can you go and start your life over for free and at the same time find so much freedom? You know, this place, I will always love this place. You saved my life. Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce a person that was a former resident and now is one of our wonderful peer specialists that provides amazing support groups and so forth, and that's Shaylee.
It's good to see so many old and familiar faces today. I've got to see people I hadn't seen since 2018, so that's been amazing. First, as a former resident, I want to thank everybody on this staff for saving my life. I was in a place where I wasn't going to come back if somebody didn't give me a hand, and that's what they did. And this place allowed me the time and the space and the love to really rebuild myself from the ground up, not once but twice. And now I get to work here and help all of the residents now to do the same thing. And it's such a blessing, you know. I got to give a short interview yesterday, and I said something along the lines of, it's not one thing that makes Fort Lyon amazing, it's everything. Yeah, and it's magic the way this place works. You know, a couple of guys had this idea on a napkin in a restaurant drinking coffee, and they brought it to fruition in Las Animas. And it took all of these wonderful people here and here to make it happen. But isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing how many lives have been saved? People getting back on track. And to be a part of that and to give back to that in the way that I get to every day. And it is a blessing to get to be here with you every single day. That makes me sleep good at night. I love you all, and this place has really, truly been a blessing to me. It's just, I don't have the words to say how I feel about this place. It was my family when I had none, my home when I had none, you know, my saving grace when I had none. And it's been that to so many people. And it's not just the Fort Lyon community either. It's our community in Las Animas. The people, you know, accept us and love us there too, for the most part. And for the most part, I've met so many wonderful people and so many accepting and forgiving people. Everywhere I go, it just blows my mind that I can have this beautiful, wonderful life today that I never thought possible for my entire life before. I was 20 years on the street, which is an ungodly amount of time for anybody to live on the street. Don't know how I survived. I guess a higher power of my own understanding would be the answer to that question. But, you know, if I hadn't made it here, I wouldn't have made it at all. And so it's my pleasure and my honor to get to serve each and every resident that I will get to serve today and each day going forward. And thank you all.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful. Our next speaker was a former resident, and we hired him, and he became a reintegration specialist, helping our residents as they're ready to leave Fort Lyon, go into apartments, and then he also helps support former residents with Friends of Fort Lyon meetings and so forth. And I know everyone just thinks the world of him. Randy Stotts, where are you? There you are.
You know, 10 years of changing lives. 10 years, that's amazing. 2 days ago on October 9th, was 8 years and 3 months to the day that I made the desperate decision to get on the van and come to Fort Lyon. I had just spent 8 years on 16th Street Mall, slept wherever I could, jails, institutions, whatever it was that I did while I was on the streets. And it was the blessing of a Colorado Coalition outreach worker by the name of Jeff Ritter that I will never forget, ever. And I don't mean I don't mean I will try to get a hold of him. I mean I will get a hold of him as often as I can, because that man never gave up on me. It wasn't his concern whether I stunk the way I did, whether the attitude I had, whether I was drunk. He found me wherever I was, and he would do the simple things. He would offer me socks, and I needed socks, socks, foot warmers, hand warmers, granola bars, and he never gave up on me, even though I had no hope whatsoever. None whatsoever. When I got to Fort Lyon, let's be real quick, all right? I didn't come to Fort Lyon. When I say desperate decision, it was because I didn't know what else to do. I did not think that I could be on the streets anymore. I got on that van reluctantly. You had to pretty much drag me on the van, but I got on the van. I got here, I didn't know what this was about. I did not come here to do service work. I did not come here to find God. I did not come here for recovery. I came here because of my situation. I did not think I could make another winter on the streets of Denver, and we all know what the streets of Denver can be like. You know what I mean? But along the way, I saw people come to the rooms. I didn't believe in AA because my idea of AA was I had done it over and over and over again, and my own perception of what it was as long as I go to meetings, I'll stay sober. When that failed over and over and over again, I decided that AA or NA doesn't work for me. I'm not doing this anymore. This is stupid. So they offered all these different opportunities for me to heal. When I saw people like John, Marianne, Peggy, my wife Cindy, all these people in the rooms, and their stories are just as brutal as mine. Mine's not better than anybody else's. There are stories. There are testimonies to why we're blessed to be here today. I decided that I might try to do the work. I found God, and with God, I was able to stay sober. Now, I will explain how I see recovery, all right? Sobriety itself is the abstinence from alcohol and drugs, okay? That just means I'm abstinent. I'm not using it anymore. Recovery is the freedom from shame, because shame is what does not allow me to stay sober. And if I don't recover from that shame that I built for such a long time, all the things that I did to others and accept responsibility for those things, I was never going to keep my sobriety. So, for all you that are here, there was something mentioned about truth today: honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. And with those three things, you can have the life that you deserve. And believe me, you deserve a good life. Every single person in this room, you deserve a good life, but you're going to have to do some work. Big Book John says it's simple but not easy. No, it's not. Why do I want to admit to you that who I am and who I was and what I did? I don't want to do that. Who does? But I did. And when you do, first starts the pain. But after the pain comes the freedom. The freedom to be who we've always meant to be, who we want to be, and the only person that keeps you from doing what you want to do is you. Awesome, Fort Lyon, 10 years. Yes!
Let's thank all our speakers one more time. Let's thank all our volunteers who help with setup and cleanup next. Let's thank our volunteer board members who came here: Tom Wolf, Gail Van Loon. This is a special place. Thank you for participating in this 10th anniversary celebration. My last request is that you go forth in that spirit of truth, love, and support, and share your stories as we continue the party outside. Thank you all.